Hey everyone, Chris here, back at the Rangitata River looking for some agates. It's pretty windy again, so I'm trying to cover my little mic with my hand. I have ordered a new external microphone for my filming setup, so hopefully that should alleviate the wind noise. That'll probably arrive tomorrow, so unfortunately it won't make it into this video. I've come to a spot that's quite difficult to get to. It's on the official angler access point list. However, it's seriously overgrown and quite a mission, and I'm pretty certain no one's been here since the flood. So I've got miles and miles of untouched riverbed ahead of me, so keep watching if you want to see some cool agates. I'm on the flat next to one of the main currents. The flood came through here, as you can tell by all the flattened bits of bush and tree and grass and stuff, and I've come across my first little bit of agate. So there it is, and just as I said that, the sun disappeared, so it looks kind of bleh. Yeah, it's just a little something, but hey, it's something to get the day going. There's a lot of sand around here, not silt, which is nice, so that washes off the rocks pretty well, and I don't see any footprints other than sheep, possums, and possibly ferrets or stoats. I'm not sure. Take a photo to get them identified. Yep, this one's gonna go home and I'll chuck it in the tumbler because there's a nice bit of pink in there. It's carrying on along this path here. You can see there's a dead poplar tree behind me. There's still a few green leaves at the base, but yeah, it was a serious amount of water that came down here. And I spotted something and I thought, nah, that's not an agate. And upon a closer inspection, it is an agate. And there it is. Huh. Pretty cool how it's still attached. Can you guys see what I'm seeing? Pause the video now and comment where you think the agate is in this shot. That's where I found my previous agate, by that log, and I took a few steps. And there's another one, so it looks like I'm in virgin territory. Let's have a closer look. Oh, okay, there's the bottom. Nice banding. As you know by now, pretty common type of agate, but they're getting bigger and they're getting better. I've found a really beautiful little corner. It's sort of a wash that's come in against some trees growing against the riverbank, and just in front of where I'm standing now, there's a nice little agate sticking out the ground. This is where I'm standing. It's quite pretty. And there's the agate. Yeah, I kind of expected it to be broken from what I could see. Yep, another banded one. We'll keep trying though for that really big 10-pound plus nodule, hopefully with some amethyst on the inside. I think the gulls are nesting on one of these islands in the river, so they're a bit upset that I'm in sight basically. Oh yeah, there's the colony. 300 meters straight ahead of me. Anyway, let's wet this little agate and see what we've got. Right, so we've got some nice banding, thick white band, and then that's all quartz. Not the best piece, but it lifts the spirits when you're cold and over it. Hey, well, talk about having your spirits lifted. I walked, how far back is that? Oh, to where the water is there, from there to here, and I think I've got a goodie. There it is, pretty obvious in the shot. looks pretty good. Let's go clean it off and we can have a better look. It's practically the same spot I washed that last agate. Oh yeah, that is cool. It's got a bit of an eye or something there. That is very cool. Happy with that. So this one turned out pretty cool. Unfortunately, there's some deep fractures, but the eye is really cool. See the moss up there? It's actually green on the inside. And the other half is even better. It's a big smiley face. Haha. So we're on that same bit of wash that I got the last two agates on, and I've covered most of it now, but I just found a little bit of blue, sort of blue-grey looking up at me. Let's have a look. Oh, okay, that's pretty well stuck in there. There you go. Yeah. It might go in the tumbler. We'll see. I'm on my way back to the car now. And I'm sorry I picked it up before I realized it actually was a little agate. And boy, is it a little agate. Come on. There you go. Got a bit of banding. I like having these cut because they can yield some nice surprises. My personal favorite agate is about half this size. I found it on the beach. It's got amethyst and really nice banding. I'll pop a photo of it in here now quickly for you. Yeah, so there's always potential even if they're small, and this one's mostly whole, so it is certainly coming home with me. Oh wow, okay. I just stepped up onto a little ridge. Let's see. Yep, I just stepped up onto the ridge and I let out a little whistle because there's a very good looking half of an agate nodule sticking out of the sand. Can you see it? Bet you can. There's my hand for size reference. Oh yeah, that's a hole. That's the base. There's the banding as we've come to expect from these agates. Although I must say, I've had a lot of them today. That is a pretty good condition whole nodule. That's really good. Very pleased with that. Very pleased with that. Let's hope there's a surprise waiting on the inside of it for us. Here's the big nodule, and unfortunately it's about as boring as a banded agate can be, so I didn't even bother polishing it, despite it being in really good condition. That's just boring, so that's alright. Carrying on my way back to the car, I'm sort of following the contours in the wavy pattern of the ground. So there's obviously a lot of water has come through here, and it's actually left well, sort of what you would see on the beach when water goes over sand and makes like little little waves and things in the sand. Well, that's what's happened here, but just on a bigger scale. So I'm walking along those and looking at the clean rocks sort of on the upper edge where sand hasn't settled and rain has washed the dirt off. And I was just hopping down between two, and this is what I spotted. So I went down to have a look at that because that's quite orange, but I don't think it's much anyway. But what I actually spotted then was that. That's an agate. Oh, it's getting better. There it is. Very similar skin to the one I found at the South Branch a couple of videos ago, if you remember that one. If not, I'll add a little link in the corner so you can go check out that video, see what I'm talking about. This one was really cool. It came out really nice, and there you go. Multicolored moss, which is quite cool. I really like that. So I thought that was some gull poop, but it's not. It's an agate, or at least a bit of chalcedony. Yep, it's a not much. It's a not much, but it's mostly whole. So you see those angled sides there? That's where the chalcedony has grown over a pre-existing crystal in its volcanic cavity. You see that? So there might have been, I don't know, calcite or quartz or some other exotic mineral growing in there, and it's grown over that and it's left an impression. It's pretty common to see that. It's pretty cool. This one with a crystal imprint, it's got a bit of super glue on the back. That's just from the polishing process where weights were stuck onto it. It came out really nice. It's got some really cool mineral inclusions in there. See the hole going through. I actually prefer the other half. If you look at the bottom left, where the imprint ends, if you look below that, there's the point of another crystal imprint sticking up through there. There it is. You can see it right through, so that's quite cool. You can see all the little mineral sprays inside there. It's quite nice. I like this one. Okay, this is officially the best session I've had on the Rangitata, even though I haven't found one of those really big Rangitata agates yet. But I made the effort to get to a really remote spot, and it's definitely paying off. A few minutes later, and here's the next little agate. Looks pretty good from here. Oh, that's really stuck in there. Okay, give us a sec. Ooh. Oh yeah, that looks good. Very nice banding. She'll be a ripper. Thanks, Rangitata. So that banding we saw was mostly oxidation, and yep, and this one's also pretty plain on the inside. The other half, not much going on through the cross section. You could leave this out in the sun, and UV and oxidation would bring back a little bit of banding, but it's not really worth the effort. Well everyone, I'm just about done for the day, although who knows, maybe I'll find an agate on the way back to the car. The car is just up in there, well, about 1 kilometer through the bush. Thanks for joining me on my adventure today. I had a really good time, I hope you did too. Next video is probably going to be agating on the beach. I've got a few friends who want to see how it's done, so I'm going to go show them how I find agates on the beach. Until then, have a good time, and I'll see you in the next one.